so you're gonna start by getting your supplies. You are going to need your other blank canvas. You are going to need the turtle template. It looks just like this. Go ahead and have all of your acrylic paints ready to go. I have brushes and rinse water. I have a paper towel. I have my glitter and my pencil. I have some glue. I'm not sure if I'll need it, but I might. I have on an art shirt so I don't get anything on my clothes. If you have an apron, you could wear an apron. I also have put a tablecloth down so I don't get paint everywhere and make a huge, ginormous mess. And I have my blow dryer. It's plugged in behind me. That way we can blow dry. You will also need all of those brushes. Mine are in my rinse water. I'm gonna clean them real quick and just put them out here and have them ready to use. So go ahead and stop the video if you need to get your space set up. But if you're already set up, we're ready to go. Okay, so start with your canvas. We are going to do the whole entire background and then put our turtles on top of it. So to do the background, we are going to need to paint it. It's basically underwater. And so I'm gonna get my blue and I'm gonna get my white. I've already done my flamingo painting, and so my white has some blue mixed in right here on the lid. And I'm gonna continue with that. And for this part, this is so super easy. All I'm gonna do is paint the whole entire thing. You can add white to it. You don't have to add any white, but we are going to cover the whole entire thing because the turtles are going to be underwater. They are sea turtles. Even if they weren't sea turtles, we can still put them underwater. There is a lake behind where my studio is, and there are always turtles sitting out there on the logs and things, but they swim. They're not sea turtles, but they still go in the water and they swim. So after I am done getting all of this covered with blue, I'm gonna blow dry it, and then we're gonna start drawing before we paint. So your first thing that you want to do, cover the whole entire canvas with blue. When you're done, you can pause the video, go to the blow dryer, and then when you come back, we will be ready to start adding our turtles. So I'm gonna finish up right here, blow dry, and I'll see you in just a minute. So I have my whole entire canvas painted blue. This is going to be my lake, if you want it to be a lake or pond or ocean, depending on what kind of turtle you're gonna make. I am going to start with, whoopsie, my pencil right here and my template. And I'm gonna do two turtles. So I'm gonna start down here. I'm gonna use my pencil just like we did with the flamingo. I am going to trace around my first template. And there is where my first turtle is gonna go, and then I'm gonna put my other turtle over here. So I'm going to trace all the way around it. So two turtles, if you wanted to, you could make more turtles. It's completely up to you, but I'm just gonna start with two. Once I have my template drawn, I am going to start drawing my body parts. I'm gonna put a head on my turtle. Mine are gonna be going in just a little bit different directions. So head on both of those, and then I'm gonna put a little pointy tail. So on the opposite end. Now, I'm gonna make mine into sea turtles, so they're going to be swimming. In order to do that, I make them have flippers more so than feet. And so the flippers, I draw a line away from the turtle, I put a little bend in it, and then I curve it back up. I'm gonna do it on this side. Go out, put a little bend, and then curve it back up. So if you've ever seen Finding Nemo, I love the turtles in Finding Nemo, and that's where I'm gonna get my inspiration. All right, so this guy is also a sea turtle, and his legs are also like flippers, so I'm gonna draw all of those. If you make a mistake, you can erase it. You can also paint over things, so if you accidentally do something and you need to paint over it, you can. So those are my flippers. I'm not gonna draw my eyes yet, and I'm just gonna do these two turtles. You have two different colors of green. I'm gonna do the dark green first. I don't know if you can see this, but I dropped an eyeball right there in my green. I'm gonna flip that out. So to do this, it's exactly like everything else. You wanna outline it first. And so I like to get in here with my brush. I have my medium-sized brush, and I wanna outline the shell, then I wanna fill it in. I don't want super duper big blobs of paint, because if I have too many big blobs of paint, it's not gonna blow dry very well. So I haven't drawn in like any patterns or anything on my shell. I just want to paint them one solid color to start with. Now, I have two different colors of green. That's what I have given you. You can also use yellow. We'll come to the yellow in just a minute. Right now, I'm gonna open my second color of green. I am actually gonna stick my brush right in, and I'm just gonna mix right on top of the shell a little bit of the lighter green. I'm gonna blend that in so I can mix right on my canvas like so if I want to. So look, I just made that a little bit of a lighter color. I don't want my arms and my tail and my head to be the same color of green, because then you can't see the difference. So that's why I'm adding the lighter green on top. Now, once I have that all the way done, I'm gonna take this brush, because these are smaller. I'm actually just gonna put that in the water. My rinse water is right here. If I want to use it again, I wanna swish it really good. Be careful that you don't swish it onto your project. And I swish it, I wanna dry it, I'm just gonna set that aside. Now I'm gonna get a smaller brush. I am actually going to get the yellow, get it out, and I'm gonna get the light green. I'm gonna use the light green. I'm gonna outline my turtle's head. Once I have it outlined, I'm gonna fill it in. So I'm going to, look, if that is enough of a contrast, and I think it is, you can definitely tell the difference between my head and the color of the turtle shell. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that for all of them. Now, in this kit, you don't actually have any brown. And so sometimes turtles have brown on them. If you want to make brown, brown is actually opposite colors. And so when you think about colors like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, opposites are, if you put them in a circle, like the color wheel, they are opposite of each other. So I'm gonna give you some examples. Actually, I'm gonna do this with you. So if I put them in a circle, here we go. I'm gonna do red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then over here I have purple. So when I have them in a little circle, this is called the color wheel. Anything that's opposite, so red and green are opposites. So if I mix red and green together, I'm going to get brown. Blue and orange and blue are opposites. I'm having trouble talking, guys. Orange and blue are opposites. If I mix orange and blue, I'm gonna get brown. Purple and yellow are opposites. So this is my color wheel. Red, yellow, and blue are my primary colors. I mix red and yellow to get orange. I mix yellow and blue to get green. I mix red and blue to get purple. These colors, though, as they're laid in a circle, you can look, yellow, purple, they are opposite of each other on my little wheel. They will make brown, okay? So the fun thing about painting with acrylics is that you can mix colors and you can get in and you can play with those. Just be careful when you're mixing colors that you do it like on a paper plate or you do it on the lids. And that way, when you do your mixing, you're not ruining all your colors. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get both turtles done. You guys work too and get both of your turtles done. We're gonna need to blow dry them before we add any details. So once I get, I like to say do while I'm painting, it entertains me. So I go do. Once I get all of these done, and I'm trying to move a little fast. If you need to, you can always pause the video to get caught up. And basically, once I do this back flipper on my second turtle, I'm gonna turn the video off so that I can blow dry. So let me, there we go. turn the video off, and you can't see my face, you can only see my hands, but you know I'm here. I'm gonna pause it, you guys pause the video too, and blow dry, and I'll see you in just a bit. So we're back and we are blow dried. Hopefully you are. I am now going to do something odd. I am going to take my pencil, I'm going to turn it upside down. You should have gotten an eraser to attach to your pencil, so you can just pull that eraser off and use the actual pencil eraser. Dip it in and you are going to go boop, boop, after you dip it in the white, and this is how you're going to make turtle eyes. You're going to go boop. Here we go. I'm going to get this again, and I'm going to go boop, and now I have turtle eyes. I can also do the same thing and make, you know how sometimes there's like bubbles in the water? Maybe my turtles are letting out some air, and I can do some air bubbles in there. Now, I have a sponge, and I'm just going to do some dots on the back for my patterns. You can do patterns different ways. I said have your yellow available. I can take the yellow and add like some little details. You can do whatever you want to make the patterns on the back. I'm gonna show you how I do it with a sponge. Just gonna get my sponge, I'm gonna dip it in the yellow, I'm gonna tap it off on my paper towel a little bit, and I'm just gonna put some dots on the back, like so. And I'm gonna put one right there in the middle. So now I have yellow dots. I'm gonna tap it off, I'm gonna stick it in the lighter green, and now I'm going to do the same thing on this one, but it's green instead. So I'm going to make them not quite touch, but I'm going to fill in the whole entire back. And now my turtles have patterns on the back. Now, if you want to get more detailed, you can go in and do different kinds of patterns. I am going to use the darker green, and I am going to add just some little detail like highlights here on my legs. So you could do patterns here if you wanted to. A pattern is optional, but I can just add, look at that, just like some little darker lines like a shadow. Can do the same thing on the head. I can also put some like little dots. You know, turtles sometimes have, I'm just putting some little slash marks. Their legs have a texture to them, kind of like a reptile does, like a snake or a lizard. And so I can just take my brush in the green, and I'm basically just swiping little dashes just to add some little details to it. Now, on here, I can take, look, I just put a little X. I'm gonna do a little pattern on the pattern. So I'm taking that darker green and I'm just putting some little X's. You could put little hearts on it. I mean, it depends on how fancy or cute you wanna make it. I can put like, see that? I'm just gonna put like a little swirl. You do that like you're gonna make the letter C, but then you just keep on going, and I'm using the dark green. My yellow is wet, and that's just fine because that's making it mix. And so I just do a little, like I'm doing the letter C, but then I continue to swirl it all the way around. So have fun with whatever patterns you want to do on the backs of your turtles. Now, I will say on the eyes, they are super duper wet, so we're gonna have to blow dry them before we put any black in. Using this acrylic paint on my sponge right now. I wanna make sure that doesn't dry in there, but I don't wanna stick it in the water because it makes a huge mess. So to clean these sponges, have a grown-up help you run them with soapy water just in the kitchen sink, and then dry them really, really good with a paper towel before you use them again, all right? So I'm just gonna set that aside for now. If I wanted like a little mouth, I'm gonna get into my black over here. I'm gonna open my black, make sure this brush is nice and dry. I'm just gonna dip a little bit in. You can put a tiny little smile right here if you want to. You can outline if you want to. See, I just did a little outline around the outside of that. Sometimes it helps to have it all the way dry before you do the outline. But mine, this part's dry, the stuff on top is what's wet. So I can get away with going around like that. Let me get that cute little tail. I like to do an outline because I think it stands out a little bit better. And then I can even do like an outline around the shell. However, if you have make sure, well, first of all, that you have the skinniest brush in your kit. And then if you need to, ask a grown-up or someone older to outline it. Or practice. The key is to hold your brush really, really straight up and down. And that's how I get a really, really nice outline. All right, so as I'm doing this, I'm gonna go all the way around. I'm gonna put another, I like smiley faces. I'm gonna put a little smile on my turtle. Now I'm gonna do the middle of the eyes, but this is gonna be my girl turtle, so I'm gonna give her some eyelashes. So I don't run my hand through the paint. I'm actually gonna move my canvas around to finish the outline. That way I don't accidentally set my hand down. That's what happens and messes me up. I set my hand down and the paint is wet, and then I end up dragging paint. Now, the next thing I'm gonna do is, just because it is the turtle shell, I'm just gonna do some little patterns like this around my polka dots. Choose to do it or not to do it. This is your artwork, so be creative however you want to be creative. I'm gonna go around the outside of that, but that looks like a pretty cool shell, doesn't it? So I'm just gonna set this aside for just a minute. This, my little brush, I wanna rinse all of that black out. You can hear me swishing over here, but you can't see it very well. So I'm just swishing away. Then when I dry it, I wanna make sure, see, I still have some black on there. I'm gonna rinse it again and do it, and now I don't have any black, so I wanna make sure I get all that black off. Okay. Now, my eyes again are still wet, but do I want anything else in my painting? I can add another turtle. I have room for it, or I can do some little fishies in there. Now, if we're in the ocean, we can do like an octopus, or you can do like, you can do a clownfish, like Finding Nemo. You can do a Dory kind of fish. So you can do another kind of fish on here if you want to. I am gonna do just an orange fish because I like the color orange. So I'm just gonna get some orange. I am going to make an oval. I'm gonna fill that in. Sometimes the orange doesn't fill in very well. If that's the case, I'm gonna come back over where I have it on my lid here. I'll get a little bit of white and I can just blend it in. So see how I'm stirring it? So if your orange will not cover your blue, or really any color when you're doing this, you can always mix a little white in. All right, once I get my oval, I am now going to put that white down. I've got my orange. I like to make my fishy have kissy lips, so I'm gonna do some kissy lips like that. I am gonna do a tail, so there's my tail. Oh, I like that. I did kind of a fancy tail where it's like kind of wavy, and then my fish is gonna need to be swimming, and so it needs some fins. So there's my fishy like that. Now, I'm going to need to let it dry or use the blow dryer before I can add my eyeballs and things. But maybe my fishy here wants a little friend too. So I'm gonna make a friend for my fish right there. I'm gonna do that. There's my little fishy friend. There we go. There's some little, look at that. That's a cute little guy. So I have a little one and a big one over here. Now, the other thing is, depending on where they're swimming, oh, you know what I loved on Finding Nemo? I really like the jellyfish. So what if you did like a purple jellyfish? So jellyfish are super easy. You just do a circle. So I'm not even gonna do a super neat. We haven't used any purple, and I really like purple. So let's just do this. And then for the jellies, you just gotta wiggle the brush. So once I get like a head on it, I just take and I do my tentacles. Now I'm gonna do a little wavy thing right here, and I'm gonna go boop, and those are my tentacles. Remember how they were stingy? I actually got stung by a jellyfish one time at the ocean. I don't know if you've ever had that happen. It was just a little one. It didn't hurt too bad. All right, so now I've got a jellyfish right there. It's a pretty little one. I don't think jellyfish travel alone. I think they have friends. And so I'm gonna make a couple, here's a little tiny friend. They come in different sizes. I could even do like a jellyfish. Oh, this is a really tiny one over here. So another little jellyfish. So I just think, you know, on my painting, what are some other little sea creatures that I could put in here? Just swimming along, whether it's fish or something else like the jellyfish or an octopus or something like that. So I just have fun. I've got my little ocean scene, and now I'm at the point where I can't really do much more unless I blow dry, because I want to put eyes on my fish and on my jellyfish. Add a little white here, and I want to put the middle of the eyes on my turtle. And so I'm going to rinse my brush, put it over here, and we're going to pause for a minute so that you can blow dry. So you blow dry yours, I'll blow dry mine, and we'll be back in just a minute. right, now I am dry and I'm ready to do eyeballs. So, to do my eyeballs on my fish and my jellies, first of all, I'm going to put a teeny little smile on all of my jellyfish. So there we go. Then I'm just going to do black. I'm going to do great big eyes, and then I'm going to go back with some highlights of white. So I'm going to get my 2 great big eyes on here. I kind of like to make them look silly. There they look silly. This guy is going to have smaller eyes because he's a smaller guy. And then I'm going to come over here and do some eyeballs. So those are all black. Now, on my turtles. On this one, I can go ahead and just get the black in there. It's already got the white. Now this one, in my picture, this is a boy. I'm going to give him eyebrows. I don't think turtles have eyebrows or eyelashes, but it's my artwork. I can do what I want, right? Okay, there we go. Those are so cute. Now, on my fish, this fish is swimming forward, and so his eyes are going to go on top of his head. Same thing here. The little fishy are swimming because we're looking down on them. So there they are on the top of the head. If I want to, I can use that same black and I can add some outlines. Sometimes it helps make it stand out a little better. These guys are just swimming along with the sea turtles. Maybe they're friends. You could give them names. Let's do, so we've got fish lips and there's the tail. So I'm going to outline that. And then I'm going to go do this little guy real quick. And doop, and a little bit around the tail. And then if I want any other bubbles, I can use, for smaller bubbles, I can dip my end of my paintbrush in, just do some little bubbles coming out of these fishies. Because I think if they're talking, they would have like some little bubbles around them, but you don't have to do bubbles, you guys decide. Now on here where I did the black, I'm gonna do a little highlight in the eyes like that. And then here I've got room to do 2, so I'm gonna do that. So if you've seen that like in cartoons, like little bitty tiny bit. You gotta be real careful so you don't get too much. My little fish, I'm gonna put 1 in each turtle eye. Boop, boop. Now, I am done with my painting. I'm not gonna do any more painting, but when it's all the way dry, I can get my glitter out. My back of my turtle is dry, and I'm just gonna demonstrate this real quick. I just squeeze out a little bit. I don't want a whole bunch. I'm just gonna use my finger. So I wanna make sure it's dry or I will smear it. So when I go in, I'm just making my back sparkly. So I didn't do the black outlining here. It's fine, you can do it either way. On this one, I'm just gonna put the glitter on my dots. And so this is glitter glue, which will wash off of your skin and clothes. And so if you wanna just do it on like that, you can do it that way. If you want any jewels, there's I have mine somewhere on the table and they've disappeared. Where are my jewels, guys? That's so weird. They're not here anymore. Oh, I'm so silly. They went all the way over there. So my jewels. Again, you have some eyeballs, but like jewels. One thing that I think would be cute on the turtle is you can use the jewels as part of the patterns on the back. So if you want to add some jewels, just make sure you use Elmer's glue, or you can buy, if you have it, or you can buy some tacky glue. I like the tacky glue. So that is our painting for our sea turtles. I hope you had fun making it. I would love to see pictures. I'm gonna flip the camera up. Hi, it's kind of a weird angle, but I'm gonna see you later. We're gonna do our sea turtle pottery and we still have to make slime. Okay, bye guys.